Hey, juniors. It is the counselors coming into advisory today to do our second of many activities of the year to get you as juniors to go on an introspective journey and land on a smart list of post-secondary options for after you graduate. Today, we're going to be introducing a cool concept called selection criteria to explore and discover your post-secondary match. Today, we're going to discuss again that this is an exciting time, a non-stressful time to look at all kinds of post-secondary options, how we need to remind you to have this process start with you. And we're going to give you an activity that has you dive into what selection criteria, search criteria you might look at for your post-secondary options. A reminder that all of you have different paths beyond high school, whether it's 2-year, 4-year, community or technical college, military, gap year, or work. We want to help you on your individual pathway to go on to the right thing for you after you graduate. So you have a lot of options and we have a lot of resources to support you. Again, we want to remind you that this is an exciting time, and this is going to be a continual conversation and journey for you. There are nearly 6,000 2- and 4-year colleges, and you've worked really, really hard. If you'll recall, the average acceptance rate at 4-year colleges is 70%, and there's only a small swatch of schools, around 100 out of nearly 3,000 4-year colleges, that have an admission rate below 33%. So if college is on the docket for you, you're going. We're just going to support you to build a smart list where you're going to have many acceptances as you get into your senior year. So how you find your match. If you'll recall, we came at the beginning of the year, our first activity with you to have you start to look at yourself. Again, it's about the name on the back of the sweatshirt, not the name on the front of the sweatshirt. And that means looking at your skills, your interests, your abilities, your strengths, your areas that give you passion to be able to find out what is next for you after you graduate from Edina High School. And so we want to remind you, please go into Naviance and click on your surveys from your school and do the post-secondary Kickstart survey. That's going to give you some content to think about life after high school, and it's going to give your counselor context when you get into their offices to support you on your individual pathway. So today, we're going to introduce what's called selection criteria. If you start with yourself and think about who you are and your skills and interests and abilities, then it's time to start thinking about what selection criteria is important to you as you start to choose your post-secondary options. That might be what kind of academic programs or majors, military presence, if you want religious affiliations or various extracurricular activities. We're actually going to have you do an activity today to get you to look at selection criteria that's important to you. So I'm going to kick it off to Mr. Hackbarth to introduce an activity to get you thinking about selection criteria that is perfect for you.
Thanks for that introduction, Ms. Block. All right, students, one question that we get in our office a lot is, how do I sort through all the college choices out there? And as you've already heard, our belief is that when you are building your college list, you need to start with you at the center of the search. So throughout this year, we'll be throwing out a bunch of free post-secondary planning resources to you through Advisory, which can aid you in the journey. Today, we're going to teach you about a program called Corsava. We are kind of super fans of Corsava around the counseling office. This is a free resource for students, but it does require you to create an account. So once you're at corsava.com, it will take you a minute or two to establish the account. But once you do, go ahead and click on Card Sort. I know many of you may be making accounts right now as we present this video, and that is totally cool. And some of you may wish to return to this information later. Also cool. We encourage you to use your unencumbered time during advisory, kind of that free time, to return to this activity over the next couple of weeks. And also note that this is activity number 2 on your junior advisory activities checklist that was handed out a few weeks ago, and your advisor should still have. So we're at number 2 on that checklist. This card sort is a way for you as a student to be confronted with different factors and attributes that may be important to you when you continue your post-secondary studies, life after high school. There are around 400 different qualifiers or cards that you'll be asked to categorize as must-haves, would-be-nices, do-not cares, and no ways. And if you don't know what each one of the cards is saying, just be aware, there's a short, handy description right underneath the scale. As the cards come up in a random order, we advise you to move along kind of quickly. Don't ruminate or spend too much time on a particular topic if it doesn't hit or give you kind of like a strong response. that's okay. Answer the question best you can and move forward with your next question. So let's do a couple together. All right, I'm finishing up my card sort, so I've got like 4 or 5 more. Sororities and fraternities. I can read about them down here. Like I said earlier, for me, would be nice. Religious affiliation. I know that that is something that is not important in my search, so I'm going to say do not care. Merit aid scholarships. I know that I'm working really hard in high school, and I'm going to want some opportunities to get some merit aid. Dance, not for me. And then design my own major. For me, I don't care. So what do you do now? When you're at the end of your card sort, you get the option, do you want to see a report? Yes, I want to see my report. Quickly, what you can do is you can click print and kind of put it into a PDF. And this is just so you could save it to your computer. There's some information about what you can do with it. But what's really helpful is this right here, the must-haves on your list. And so now that I know some must-haves that I want in my college search, we can take it one step further. So now I'm going to hand over the presentation to another counselor, Mr. Moe. Take it away.
All right, juniors. Once you are finished with the Corsava activity for selection criteria for colleges, we will take all that information and then we will use that for another activity on Naviance, which is called Supermatch. And school counselors will be coming into your advisories at the end of November and early December to finish that. So it's very important that when we're done with this presentation, to actually get on Corsava and do the selection criteria, because that's just going to be very, very beneficial and helpful when we do Supermatch at a later date. So make sure you do that and finish that. Also, I want to make you aware of other post-secondary resources we have for you that are available for you at any time. Once again, Naviance, which you're going to be doing Supermatch activity on, has a number of other activities you can do for self-exploration, looking at different colleges, looking at different careers. So make sure to navigate through Naviance. Also, we have a number of college visits in our College and Career Center. We have about 250 to 300 admissions counselors who come in from different schools throughout the year. And once you start making a list of those schools you're interested in on Naviance, you'll actually get an invite when one of those schools comes into our College and Career Center. So make sure that you do that in the future. Also, our College and Career Center with Ms. Stuma has a number of resources for you, and she's also a wonderful person to contact if you have specific questions or concerns. Also, your class website has a number of activities and different resources for you. There's the post-secondary resource link. We also have a counselor YouTube channel, which has a wonderful videos that kind of go through the college application process. And there's also the post-secondary planning digital catalog link. All of these will be put onto Schoology so that you have access to them. So just make sure you are aware of the fact that this presentation will be on Schoology so you can look at all the different resources that are available for you. Also, we want to make you aware of some upcoming counselor events. Once, like I said earlier, we have the Supermatch College Search, which will happen at the end of November, early December. And then another activity we will do with you is building a smart college list. And once again, that's going to narrow down your list of colleges that you may be interested in. Also, just want to make you all aware to keep your eyes open for announcements about Junior Night. That's Junior Parent Night. So all your parents and guardians will be invited to that activity in that evening. And there'll be a number of breakout sessions that they can sign up for to kind of find out more about that college application process for you. Also, we are getting ready for registration. And that will happen in February. That's going to be upon us soon. And you will be registering for your senior year. Exciting times coming. And then finally, we will wrap up the year with managing the college application process. Once again, to just kind of guide you through what you're going to be doing as a senior as you start applying to those colleges. Once again, make sure that you finish the Corsava activity for the selection criteria. And if you have any other specific questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to your school counselor. Thank you and have a great day.